Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Now in this one we're going to be comparing kind of different bearings that you can use for your trackball. So I'll be comparing the static, the rollers, and the BTUs. So I'm building my own trackpad, and I was just going through all of the bearings and whatnot, and yeah, so this is kind of all the options that you might find. And what you'll also see is we have now a second camera. Hang on, my first camera is flipped. Alright, yeah, so I managed to figure out how to use your phone with OBS. So this camera right here is the phone camera. I just have it mounted on a tripod. It's pretty cool. But anyway, let's get back to business. So yeah, the first type is the static bearings. Now, all these are just little tiny balls, and you'll find them in, the kind of normal track balls. So if we go here, so yeah, you'll see this one has the kind of default red ones. And then for the Elecom Huge, this has the modded ones, so it's like, the nice modded white ceramic ones. So yeah, I have a video on my channel if you want to see how to mod this. I'm just noticing the frame rate isn't fucking great, so we'll go back to this one. Should be grand. Alright, so yeah, the next type of bearings is the roller bearings. Now these are kind of like the skateboard bearings, and I'll show you them here. So yeah, it would be like these. You can see them there. So it's like a skateboard kind of mini wheel, then on a metal kind of dowel thingy. And so the Plupi actually uses those as well. So here's the Plupi Adept. And if I were to take that apart, you should see them. Now, the Plupi ones, they use 3D printed dowels instead of the metal ones, which is, a little bit worse, but it seems to work fine. So that's grand. All right. And then, lastly, we have the BTUs. Now, these are the ball transfer units. So if we go here, they look like this. So I'll actually take one out here. So yeah, they're just like this. And there's like a ball that spins inside. And there's more tiny balls inside that one. Now, most of the ones that you'll find in AliExpress look like these. These are nice and small. But there's also these Bosch ones, which are a lot bigger. So yeah, you can, oh Jesus, you can see the difference. Christ, everything's rolling away. So yeah, you can see this difference in size. So basically, if you have the option, use these. If you don't, probably use the roller bearings instead of these BTUs. But yeah, you can see the size difference there. It's like 4 times the size. All right. So yeah, we'll be kind of comparing 3 different BTUs. So there's the cheap ass random ones. There's also the Vaichu VNC. So if you, oh Christ, if you go, browse the forums or whatever, you'll notice that a lot of kind of mods recommend this one for some reason. I guess because these don't fit, but yeah. So yeah, let's go over to the comparison table here. So first off, we'll start off with the static ones. So for these ones, since I don't have like a 3D printed jig for the static ones, we're just gonna use you know, the commercial kind of mice. And yeah. So, to check the volume of these things, I'll use a dB meter on my phone here, on my other phone. And so yeah, you'll be able to see how much noise they make. So I'll just try put it here maybe. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Should be able to see it nicely. And then I'll move kind of the bearings, you know, close. So we'll start off with the Kensington. Now you probably won't be able to hear this one on the microphone, but I'll give it a try anyway. So yeah, we'll say that was around 40 decibels. We'll try this one now. So yeah, that one's a little bit lower at 35 decibels, and it's a tiny bit smoother as well. But these are, you know, the proper ceramic kind of bearings and whatnot, the modded ones. So yeah, we can actually note that down, because why not? I'll just add a column here inside the table here. Or instead of column, I'll just put, you know, whatever I got. So yeah, it was around 35 dB for that one. For the static bearings, we'll just say. Alright, so next up will be the roller bearings. So, oh yeah, I also forgot to see if you guys can hear it. Okay, no, that's that's the ball falling down. Hang on. Okay, yeah, the mic doesn't really pick it up. That's grand, but you know, it is audible, so that's why it's a noise level of 3 instead of 1, where 1 would be like inaudible. So like, you know, if I were to move my mouse here, that's pretty much inaudible, so that'll be like a level 1, where you can't really hear it, but the bearings, you can hear them. Alright, so, oh yeah, and also forgot to talk about the smoothness. Yeah, the smoothness is, you know, fairly decent. Like, I've been using the Kensington with the stock bearings for like a good number of years now. So that's probably why this is louder than this one, because I've just been using it for a lot, so these bearings might have worn out a little bit. But yeah, like there's no problem using this, you know. It is a little bit sticky, so it doesn't, like, you know, start off moving extremely easily. You kind of need to give it a good force. Well, not really a good force, but you know, like if you were to use the different bearings, you'll kind of know what I mean. But yeah, like there is a bit of unsmoothness with this, basically. All right, so for the rollers, we're gonna use these, and we're gonna compare them with the Plupi as well, because why not? So first of all, these are a little bit smoother than the static ones. It just requires a lot less force to get them going, and yeah, there is a little bit of like if you were to move it, I guess it's not too bad with the depth, yeah. So I guess these bearings are a little bit worse. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a kind of click to it, whereas with the depths, like, you know, it's very smooth, but you can hear it. So if I were to put this over here, So yeah, we'll say it's 45. And then I'll also try the depth one as well. See how that looks like. So yeah, this one is a little bit louder, but I think that's primarily to the ball, because of the ball. But yeah, that one was like around 46, let's say. So yeah, but yeah, it is easier to kind of move the ball versus the static ones. So I'll just all right, so now we're on to the BTUs. So we'll start off with the kind of random AliExpress ones, which are here. Yeah, which are here. So yeah, this is done. This can get out of the way. So yeah, these are just the random AliExpress ones that you can get for like 150 each. Yeah, so this price here is 150 each, and yeah, the Bosch expensive ones are actually 15 euro-ish each, like including with the shipping and the taxes and the other shite. But yeah, here is just the generic cheap GPUs. I'm actually going to switch out the ball because this one's a little bit small. Yeah, okay, here we go. So if we were to listen to this, so yeah, we'll say that's around 60-ish, 60 dBs. And you'll probably be able to hear it on the mic. So yeah, it does not sound great, to be honest. Yeah, it just sounds like fucking balls on balls. Let me see if you can actually hear the roller one on the mic. No, you can't really, but it does sound pretty smooth. So yeah, as for smoothness, these feel very rough. These kind of sometimes occasionally get like stuck a little bit, so it's a bit harder to push. And yeah, it is harder than even these. So these static bearings are a lot smoother than the cheap ones. So yeah, let's move on to these. Oh crap! These Vaichu ones or whatever they're called. So these are usually the ones that are recommended for mods and stuff like that. You'll find on forums, and to be honest, they aren't like too much better than the cheap ones, even though they're like 3 times the price. So let's have a listen to the decimal meter. So yeah, we'll say these are about 58, and maybe you can hear these as well on the mic. Yeah, so these do not sound great as well. They're like, you know, squeak and everything. So yeah, I'll just quickly update that. So yeah, I would say these ones are still worse than even the static ones. It's just the static things. So yeah, if you wanna try these out, you might as well just spend the 150 on the cheap ones, and since there's like a huge difference. Now the next ones, this is kind of the reason why I got these as the very last kind of bearing, and that is because, well, it's like, you know, you could buy like feckin' 10 of these for the price of just one, and you can buy like 3 of these for the price of just one. So it's a bit ridiculous, but it is actually like, if you want to use BTUs, this is really the only option. So remember, these are the huge ones, and they are still quite loud, but they're very smooth. So if I were to spin it, okay, the frame rate on that camera isn't the best, so if I were to spin it here, you can see that it spins fairly freely, unlike this one, for example. He just kind of gets stuck, whereas this one just spins freely. And let's look at its noise. Now it is loud, so yeah, you gotta watch out for that. Okay, so it's actually louder than expected, around 59 dB. So yeah, yeah, but the noise of this is much nicer to listen to than the noise of the other ones. So I'll see if the microphone is able to pick this up. So yeah, I had to spin it very quick there for the mic to actually pick it up. But yeah, it's you know, not a bad noise. It's kind of like a smooth noise. Whereas with this one, it's kind of like a fucking trash can banging around kind of noise. Whereas this one's just kind of metallic noise. And this is very smooth. It's not as smooth as ice, because sometimes you do occasionally feel just a tiny bump, but I think that's more to do with the ball, since yeah, this ball isn't like, you know, perfect. Now, funnily enough, you actually can use this ball with it, the Kingsington one, just because of how big these bearings are. You can actually fit different types of balls, even though this is 50 millimeters, I think, or 55, and this is 57. So yeah, there is like a bit of a difference in size, if you can see that. Yeah, not too much, I suppose. So yeah, fair enough. But yeah, yeah, even when I spin this one, I can occasionally feel like just a tiny bump. So it just must be something inside the bearings. But yeah, like, this is very smooth. Like, you won't have any issues with this. So yeah, overall, this is the smoothest you can get, but it's also loud. So it might not be the best for the office. Because, you know, if you're scrolling like a big page, gonna be like 60 decibels. So yeah, that's one thing I suppose to watch out for. But yeah, overall, for my custom mouse, I will be using this thing, because it's just better. Yeah, and you know, I have space for it, so yeah, should be all good. All right, so yeah, thank you boys for watching. I hope if you're, you know, building your own custom TrackBall. Oh yeah, before we go actually, so yeah, how these look like actually is like this. So yeah, if we were to load up AliExpress there. So yeah, they just look like this, you know. It's like 128 for 10 pieces now, so yeah, pretty good. Yeah. And then you can get the appropriate dowels for this as well. So this is just like metal bits that go in the middle of the bearing, and that way it's, you know, it's a bit better than using what you call it, filament to spin the ball instead. It's a little bit, you know, more resistant, more stronger. Alright, so the Vaichu ones, you can find them on AliExpress, but honestly, just don't bother. So yeah, they're €3 now. I bought them for €4 each. So yeah. Oh yeah, there's also shipping. So yeah, it comes out to €4. So yeah. Yeah, you can also get the nylon ones. I heard that the nylon ones aren't great as well. So yeah, just don't get these at all. And then lastly, the fucking Kings. Get them like on some weird website. And then after you add the VAT and the shipping, it's gonna be like around 15 per one. So I suppose the more you buy, the cheaper it'll be. But yeah, if you were to buy one, it'll be like 15 or something. Because then if you buy more, you kind of save on the shipping cost. But yeah, you buy these there. Not sure if these ship to America or anywhere like that. So good luck with that, I suppose. We don't need this thing anymore. All right, so yeah, that's where you get them. I'll try put this table in the YouTube description because this repo isn't done yet. This is kind of part of my trackball kind of project where, you know, you'll have like STLs and all that kind of stuff, so that'll be on its own someday when it's done. But yeah, anyway, thank you boys for watching, and I'll see you next episode. Bye bye.